welcome. You have no idea how excited we are for this workshop. We've been working so hard on this, and we just have been using Procreate and our iPads like nonstop for the past couple weeks to get ready for this workshop, and we're so excited to be here. So as we start to get started here, if you are watching the replay, then you'll know you're watching the replay because there won't be a live icon right here. Also, if you're able to pause the video or see how long the full length is, that means you're watching the replay. Also, if it's after 7 p.m. Eastern on the 29th, you're probably watching the replay. But if you're here live, go ahead and say hi, and we will be able to see your comments. So hi, Kylie. We will be able to see your comments in real time. Hey, Jessica. There's a little bit of a delay, so if you say something and we don't respond for a minute, that's why. So let's start by introducing ourselves. So our names are Jillian and Jordan, and we are twin sisters, and we're the faces behind Loveleigh Loops. Hi everyone that's joining. Hey Melissa and Martha and Diane.
Hey
Diane. Yeah, so I'm Jillian and I'm Jordan. And oh my gosh, hey everyone. Okay, we're so excited that you're all here. Let us know where you're joining in from, and we might not be able to catch up with all of the comments or keep up with them because I already see so many people. Carrie, Kat, I already can't see the people above them. Already have so many people joining, but yeah, let us know where you're joining from so that we can start to get to know you as well. Hi everyone. Okay. So we live in Ohio, that's where we're joining you guys from. And so we're going to first let you know what you need, just so that when we get into the workshop you are prepped and ready to go. So you will, if you are following along, you will need your iPad. And hopefully you are able to watch this on a different device. I guess we never specified that, but you will need to, if you want to follow along with the workshop, you'll need your iPad and then watch this video on a different device. So if right now you're watching on your iPad, then maybe find a computer or phone to watch on instead.
Yes, unless you know how to do a split screen on your iPad, but yes. Then you'll also need the Procreate app, which we put a link to it in the group. It is $10 on the App Store, so you will need to download that if you haven't already, if you are following along. Hi everyone.
Hi, I see people from Canada, from Puerto Rico. I just saw someone join from Nashville. I used to live in Nashville, Florida, St. Louis, Jacksonville. Hi everyone. Thank you. Texas, wow. Okay, so as we were saying, so you'll need your iPad, the Procreate app,
and then if you have an Apple Pencil, you want to get that out, or a different stylus. And then also the last thing is to download the picture that we sent you. So we sent you a picture in an email, and we also posted it in the group under the photos within the Facebook group that you're in right now. So you will need to have that downloaded to your camera roll on your iPad.
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It looks like we have 100 people here live.
Oh my gosh.
Yay! Hi, Renata. Hey, everyone. Okay, so again, just to sort of introduce ourselves, so if you missed the very beginning, we are twin sisters. I'm Jillian, and this is Jordan, and we are the faces behind Loveleigh Loops. So we teach lettering and calligraphy tools and styles. So you'll learn everything from us, from brush lettering to pointed pen and different styles like copperplate and flourishing. And this is the first time we're actually doing a workshop about digital lettering with the iPad. So we are so excited about it.
We got our iPads in 2017 specifically to use Procreate because we were so excited about using Procreate for lettering. And if you're anything like us, if you have tried it out, it is so fun to use. At the beginning, we just spent like hours and hours playing around with the colors and the brushes and lettering and everything.
I remember everyone wanted to try it. Like we had to pass around the iPad and the Apple Pencil so that everyone could try it and do some lettering and try out the different brushes, and it's so much fun. So we did start off like just figuring things out on our own, figuring out the basics, but we really didn't even know what kind of possibilities existed. Hi everyone, by the way, who's joining. I see LA, Pennsylvania, Maryland. Yeah, at the beginning we didn't really know like what all the full potential was, and we still haven't unlocked the entire potential of the Procreate app.
I feel like I'm still learning something new every time I use it, which is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so anyway, there's just so much to learn, and so we're excited to get you guys started here today with the basics. We have a pretty full schedule planned, so we'll go through that in a second. But yeah, we just wanted to introduce. Oh, thank you guys for asking. Yeah, so the baby's due in 3 weeks from.
Oh my gosh.
2 weeks. Wait, what day is today? 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is crazy. May 14th. So I've got 2 weeks left, or less maybe. But yeah, I wanted to hold out so that I could be here for the workshop. So I'm glad that the baby stayed in there, but she'll be coming out soon. So,
okay, so we are going to flip the camera around in a second, but first we just want to review everything that we are going to go over in this workshop. And again, make sure you have Procreate installed and ready to go if you are following along on your iPad. So in the workshop, we're going to start by teaching you just the basics of how to navigate the app. I know it can be kind of confusing. There's lots of buttons, so we'll tell you what the buttons are and what they do. Then we'll do some lettering basics, so specifically talking about how to do digital lettering. And then we're going to do a deep dive into layers, and we'll do a really fun activity that I think you guys are going to love.
Yeah, I think you've probably never seen... Well, layers are like one of those notorious things about Procreate that is really confusing, and I think we're going to explain it in a way that you've never seen before. I'm really excited about that part. And then we're going to do the project. So you may have seen that we showed you the picture of the project that you'll be able to create as a result of taking this workshop. So we will do that and show you a couple little bonus tricks that you can do with it.
And then after we create the project, we'll show you immediately how you can export and share your work and post it on Instagram, share it with your friends. And so throughout the workshop, I know there's different skill levels in here. Some people have never opened the app before, some people have used it for a few months or tried it out. So we're going to assume that you are a beginner, so we are going to take you through every step. You don't have to worry if you are nervous about not being able to keep up. We will go step by step.
There will also be a replay of this, so if at the end you want to rewatch the entire thing, you can definitely do that. We'll post the recording in this group for you, but if you are here live, then we would love to work with you throughout the project, or throughout this live video to work on this project here.
Yeah, and if you are more advanced, we will be throwing in some tips and shortcuts that you might not know as we're going.
I taught her something today that she didn't know. So
yeah, I know.
So if you feel like you're already an expert, you're more than welcome to stay. Plus, you'll probably learn something new. And if you want to throw in any tips and tricks that you have in the comments, feel free.
Also, at the end, we're going to show you how to make a GIF. Or is it GIF?
Yeah, do you guys say GIF? GIF or GIF? It's the GIF. I always say GIF, but I heard it's actually GIF. I don't know. But we'll show you how to make an animated GIF at the end as like a little bonus. So if you stick with us till the very end of the workshop, we'll teach you how to do that. It's one of the newest updates of the Procreate app, and it's so much fun to use. So I'll actually show you an example of what I'm talking about if you don't know what a GIF is.
Oh, people are saying GIF.
GIF, okay.
Well, spelling it doesn't help.
GIF like gift. Okay.
Or GIF like the peanut butter.
So it seems like we have a split room. Yeah, I say GIF. I just think it...
I think I used to say GIF until I heard you say GIF, and then I was like, oh,
well, it stands for graphic something. So graphic...
Yeah.
I don't even... Interactive something? What does it stand for? Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and switch the camera around so that you can see our iPads, and so I can show you the GIF example.
All right.
Oh. All right. Can you guys see my screen okay? Oh, graphic interchange format. Thank you, Dylan. So this is what a GIF is, just in case you have never heard that term before. It's basically like an animated picture. It's not exactly a video, but anyway, you can create these in Procreate, and we're going to show you how. All right, let me just get this set up here. Okay, cool. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So if you have downloaded the Procreate app, then this is what it looks like on your screen. So go ahead and open that up. And by the way, we will be, this is the file that I used to create that GIF. So we will be monitoring the comments throughout the video. If you have questions, feel free to ask them as they come up, but we will also be making sure to answer them by the end of the video as well. So if we don't answer it right away, then just hold on to it and we can answer your question at the end. So we're going to go over, like we said, the most basic ways of navigating through the Procreate app, and also the most commonly used menu items that we use for lettering, because there are tons of options. Like all of these things up here have like a million options inside of them, and you really don't need to know all of them. We're just going to show you what you need to know for the basics. So if you are in a project right now, go back to your gallery by tapping that top left icon. and we are going to create a new canvas. Hi everyone, thank you all for joining, by the way. If you're just joining, thank you for being here. We are just getting started. Okay, so each of these canvases that you can see here in my gallery, if you're brand new to this, you might have some example artwork in here, but we're gonna create a new, oh yeah, of course we would pronounce it like GIF. Our names start with J. We're gonna create a new canvas. So in the top right corner here, do the plus button, and you can choose the size. For now, just go ahead and choose screen size. And then it will automatically open up this new canvas or project. And you can use 2 fingers to move it and zoom around. I always like to zoom it out a little bit so I can see the whole thing. Okay, so let's start going through some of the most commonly used menu items. So probably the most common one that you'll be using for lettering is the brushes. So in the top right corner here, this is your brush library. So tap that little brush, paintbrush icon. If you're following along, if you're just watching, then just ignore whenever I say an action. But if you're following along, go ahead and tap that icon, and then this brush library comes up. So you have all of these sets of brushes on the left here. So we have calligraphy, painting, artistic, and within each of these groups, you can see all of these different examples. There's so many, and they're all so fun to play with. Like spray paint, I'm going to go to spray paint and choose the one called Flicks. Okay, now in the top right corner is color. So whatever color is in the top right corner right now is whatever color you have selected. So that's the color of the brush that you're going to be writing with. So everyone just go ahead and choose any of these brushes here. Actually, I'm going to go to painting because these are really fun too. So I'm under painting and jagged brush, but you can choose any brush you'd like, and then just go ahead and start drawing. Just in case this is the first time you've opened Procreate, just go ahead and make some lines on the page. Okay, so you can think about this canvas as a piece of paper. We're going to go into a really deep dive about layers later on if that's on your mind, but for now, the brushes are just what you're going to be using to paint with or draw with. So to change your brush to a different style, you would just go back to your brush menu, choose a different one, and then you can choose, let's say, the airbrush and paint with that one as well. Okay, so the brush menu is fairly straightforward. There's lots you can do with customizing brushes. We will talk about that during the project. But for now, just know that you can select, it's like changing your tool here. Okay, the next commonly used tool is called the eraser. So the eraser tool looks like this. It's this one in the top right corner here. And when you tap on it, you'll notice that you get the same options as your brush library. So we have all of the same categories: painting, spray painting, etc. So go ahead and choose one of these brushes. I'm going to choose the calligraphy, and then scroll, mine's at the bottom, it's called monoline. And then once you have an eraser selected, you can go on top of your painting that you did with your brush, and you can see it's erasing it. So when you're painting, you're like, basically, since it's digital, you're adding pixels to this canvas, and erasing is removing them. So it's not the same as drawing with white. So if I were to draw with white, first let's go to our colors right here. So your color menu right here is where you can change colors. We'll talk about this more in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and grab white and grab a brush. So if I were to draw with white, it might look like I'm erasing, but I'm actually not. I'm drawing with white. So if I remove my background color, you'll kind of be able to see the difference of erasing is actually taking away the pink parts, and drawing with white is drawing on top of them. So it's like the difference of painting with white on top of something versus actually erasing it. Okay, so that's just an important difference to remember between the eraser and the white paintbrush. Let's take a look at our colors menu. So tapping this color wheel in the top right corner is going to bring up your color menu. Now you do have a few different options here at the bottom. So we have disc, which looks like this. So yours may be on this as the default. When you tap that color icon up there, yours might show up as disc. And then we have classic, value, and palettes. We'll talk more about the palettes in the project later on, but I just wanted to show you how you can change your color. So let's all go to the disc menu right here. So it's the one on the left. So when you're in the disc menu, there are two different things you can change. The first is the color around the edge, and then the second is this part in the middle, which is called saturation, basically how light and dark it is. So right now my color is white. Now if I move this color around the edge to say select green, and then I try to draw with it, it's actually still white. So the reason is, if I go back to green here, in the middle, even though it looks like it's green, this selector right here is all the way to the left. So I need to drag this to the right, and then you can actually see up here that it's changing to green from white. So these two boxes right here, just for your reference, the one on the left shows your previous color, or whatever color you were using before, and the one on the right shows your new color. So make sure that you have this is called the saturation disc in the middle. Make sure that you have it somewhere in the color section, not in black or white right now, just over here in the colors. And then this is fun to play around with. You can go around the edge to change your color. So if you wanted purple, you would just tap in the purple area, make sure your color is in the colors area, and that would change it to purple, blue, etc. So now we can write with blue. So let me know if you guys have any questions as we're going. I did see a question. This Apple Pencil grip is from Amazon, and thank you so much, Melissa. Melissa is super helpful. She's replying to some comments as well about the size of preference, or the iPad size, and exactly like she's saying, it's personal preference. Thank you, Melissa. Go ahead and read her comment if you have a question about size as well. And Jordan has a different grip on her Apple Pencil, which keeps the cap on it. So yeah, anyway, good questions. All right, so so far we've shown you brushes, erasers, and colors. So if you don't see any white, the way that you would get to your white color, there's two ways. If you're on this disk menu, then you would bring so do you see right here, there's a little color node in this area. Go over to the top left right there, and that will bring you white. And actually here's a shortcut. If your color selector is on the right over here and you double tap in the top left corner, it's going to go exactly to white. Another way you can do it, let's go to the classic menu down here, is if you go to the classic menu, then you can drag this all the way to the top left. The reason that I got the grip was just because this pencil is fairly thin, and so if I use it a lot, then my hand kind of hurts, so having the grip just makes it, like mine's pretty thick, makes it a little bit easier for me to hold. I definitely don't think it's necessary. And Jordan, what do you think? So yours is pretty thin. Is it just more so that it doesn't slide out of your hand?
Yeah, and just so that it's softer to hold than the pencil. And I think mine, you can hold it a little closer to the tip. Yours looks like it makes you hold it a little farther back.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I really wish that this came in purple or a different color.
I love the color of mine. That's the other reason why I like mine, because of the color.
Yeah, if anyone sees this online somewhere in purple, let me know. Or pink. Okay, good questions. So, oh, that's a good idea. Amanda says she used a regular pencil grip you can put on number 2 pencils. I didn't even think about that. That's so smart. Okay, good idea. Okay, so did that help with figuring out where to find white? And then same thing with black. So if you're in this classic menu, the second one over here on the right, then if you drag this all the way down to the bottom left, you can get to black, and that's pure black. All right, I want to show you a shortcut. So right now we're just randomly drawing stuff, but let's say I drew a big black line here and I didn't want it anymore. You can undo it. So if you do something and immediately regret it, then just take 2 fingers and tap once on your screen and it will undo. And it will actually keep undoing everything you just did every time you tap with 2 fingers. And then if you tap with 3 fingers, it will redo it, so it'll bring it back. So it's like Control Z and Control Y, bringing it back. Actually, if you hold 2 fingers down, then it's going to do rapid undo and undo a bunch of it. And then if you hold 3 fingers down, oh, whoops, I just picked a color. Okay. There. Then it all comes back. So that's just a fun little shortcut. I use that a lot because I make a lot of mistakes. So I'll write something and then I'll tap with 2 fingers. And then sometimes I've been known to do that on regular paper after I write with a brush pen, and then I'm like, undo. Oh, wait, it's not digital. I can't undo it. Anyone else? Okay.
Me.
All right. Okay, so now we've kind of got okay, let's see. There's a question. On the saturation color wheel, you can double tap on the white or black and it will automatically turn exactly. So if you're in the disc right here, the saturation wheel, you can double tap. Also, a fun little trick is that if you just want pink and you want to change around the inside and you don't want to be distracted by all of these colors around the edge, you can zoom in.
Wow.
And it makes this color saturation disc come up really big, so then you can, because sometimes when I'm in this and then I'm trying to change this to like this color pink and then I accidentally change this to orange because I tap this hue over here, or like if I'm changing it to white, sometimes it goes to green or whatever. So anyway, you can zoom in or zoom out like that, and that's really fun. Did anyone know that? Let me know if you knew that.
Did you figure that out on accident?
I forget how I learned it. Yeah, pretty much everything that I learned was from trial and error.
Or from me.
Or from Jordan, yeah.
And then I learned everything from Jillian.
Are the shortcuts applicable in iPad mini or, wait, I lost your comment. I think so the shortcuts are applicable to the app. So I don't think it would matter what kind of iPad you have. Okay, I think someone asked if they could see that again. So in order to expand this color disc, you just like zoom in on it and then zoom out. Pretty fun, right? Awesome. You guys are learning something new already and we haven't even really started the workshop. Okay, we're going to keep going here because I know that you guys want to learn about lettering. So let's go ahead and start the lettering basics. Okay, so we're going to talk about...
Someone found a purple apple pencil.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to
Rachel?
get that. You're the best, Rachel. I'll have to go get that. Okay, wait, why did you say there are two sections on the wheel? So on the wheel, on the disc menu, we have this inner section right here, like inner as in middle, and then the outer. So the outer one changes the color, like green, blue, purple, and the inside one changes how light or dark it is. Okay, we're going to add a new layer here. We will talk a lot more about layers later on, but first just go ahead and open this menu, which is called your layers menu, and this is another one that we use a lot. And we're going to clear this layer so that we can get rid of all of this. And you can either tap the layer and choose clear, and then it will all go away. I'm going to tap with 2 fingers to undo that so I can show you another shortcut. If you take 3 fingers and swipe back and forth, it clears the layer as well. Okay? So let's start talking about our lettering basics. So we are going to use a brush. So let's go ahead and go to our brush library and find Calligraphy, and then there should be one called brush pen. So find the brush pen brush, and once you've got that, we're going to start doing some lettering basics. So we want some guidelines on this page. So just a quick tip, if you want some lines to show up so you have something to work with, tap this wrench icon in the top left. Yes, you can watch this afterwards. We're recording it. Okay, so on the top left here, you can tap the wrench, and then there's all these menu items. Go to Canvas, and then this button right here next to Drawing Guide, turn that on, and then it's just going to give you some guides on here. Okay, so these are lines. It's like graph paper.
I don't think there's a way to make a dot grid. I think it only shows up as a...
Yeah, I think it only
grid.
shows up as grids, not as dots.
You can edit the amount of space within the grids. Did you just say that? Oh, okay.
No. Okay, so once you've got that up, let's go ahead and everyone have your brush pen and the drawing guides up, and let's start with some lettering basics, and then we'll learn more in the actual project of lettering. So, okay. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay, so with this brush, move the iPad down a little. Can you guys see this okay? So with this brush, we are going to just get used to it. So draw some, oh, hey Tracy. Yeah, this is actually me talking. I know that I'm on Jordan's account. That's a good question, Lori. She said, should the iPad be straight like this or turned like you would write on paper? I almost always turn it like this. But right now, let's just go ahead and get used to the brush. So draw some lines here. You'll notice that if you press harder, the line will get thicker if you're using an Apple Pencil. And if you don't press as hard, then the line gets lighter in color and not as thick. So if you want the entire brush size to be smaller, good question, then on the left here we have these sliders. So you can bring this slider down and it makes the pen smaller, and if you bring it all the way to the top, it makes it thicker. Okay, yes, so you can change the canvas size at the very beginning when you create it. Just create a custom size, and then later on, if you wanted to change it, you would have to do it under canvas and then crop and resize. So has everyone drawn a few strokes with your brush pen? Because we're going to start doing some lettering tips next. And this app is called Procreate. So I'm going to clear this layer again by taking 3 fingers and going like that. It's just easier than trying to erase everything manually. And let's talk about some lettering basics. So the basic premise of lettering is that your downstrokes are thick and your upstrokes are thin. So if I were to draw a lowercase a, oops, I'm adjusting my brush size right now just to make it different size. So if I draw a lowercase a, it's going to look like this, okay? So where my pen came down, you can see it's thick, and when it came back up, it's thin. So that's the basic concept of lettering. And I think most of you in this workshop have some sort of lettering experience, so I just want to let you know it's the exact same on the iPad. But if you're using an Apple Pencil, you're able to get the same sort of effect that you would by using a brush pen or a pointed pen, by varying your pressure. By pressing harder, you get thicker strokes, so I'm pressing harder now, and then I release the pressure on the upstroke. Then when I go down, I press harder, and then when I go back up, I press not as hard, so it turns into a thin line, okay? Okay, does anyone have any questions about this? I think just from what I know about some of the people in this group that most of you have some sort of knowledge of lettering. And so on the iPad, using this brush allows you to get that variation between thick and thin. Okay? So we are going to, we're going to start the lettering project, but first we're going to do a quick activity to talk about layers. Would that be okay with you guys? Because I know layers was one of the most common questions that you guys had about using Procreate. So we're going to talk about layers now, and then we'll get into the project, okay? The brush I was using is just under Calligraphy and then brush pen. If your 3-finger swipe didn't work, sometimes you have to go like really fast. And then, okay, to turn on the lines, you go to the wrench icon, canvas, and then turn on that drawing guide. Okay? All right, so yeah, go ahead and keep asking questions. We're going to switch to an activity that requires both Jordan and me to be talking, so we might not see all of your questions right away. But here, I'm just going to create a new canvas for you. Create a new canvas. Okay, so this is going to be a fun activity, and we're going to talk about layers now. So bear with us, we have a couple things to get set up. Are we switching sides? Or no? Okay. All right, guys. So when you first create a document, you're going, so just to clarify, this is an Apple Pencil, and when we say brushes, we're talking about the tools that you are selecting in the Procreate app, okay? All right. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and get started with this layers activity. So when you get started, you're going to have a background layer. Maybe we should switch sides. Maybe we should switch sides. I'll make this taller. There we go. So what we're going to do right now is Jordan's going to be following along on her iPad, and you guys can kind of follow what she's doing here. And I'm going to be showing you a real life example just to bring this concept to life. So whenever you create a new canvas, in the layers menu, if you tap the layer menu, you'll see that there's automatically a background color and a layer. So layers are what we're talking about now. And I'm going to be using these plastic sheets to demonstrate what layers are. So first I'll show you something in real life, and then Jordan will show you on the iPad, and you can follow along if you'd like. Okay. Oh, I just realized that this... All right. So, if I were to write in real life on this, this is going to pretend like it's a layer. It's just a piece of plastic. Then with a marker, I could write a word. So let's write love. Okay, so Jordan's going to show you what that would look like on the iPad. I know this sounds basic at first, but it'll start to make sense more.
Okay, so I'm just going to use... Oops, this is kind of big. Okay, I'm just writing the word love in black the same way that Jillian did, except I'm doing it on a layer.
Okay, so that's layer one. Now if I wanted to add another layer, I'm going to grab another piece of plastic right here and put it on top of that layer. And I'm going to write layers. I'm just writing in normal handwriting and underlining it. Okay, so to do what Jillian just did, I'm going to add a layer, so adding another clear piece of plastic by tapping the plus button in the top right. So now I have another layer, and I'm going to write layers. And I'll underline it also. So right now, if I wanted to erase my underline here, I could go ahead and erase it, and it would go away. But then while I'm on this layer, if I tried to erase the word love, nothing would happen because I'm not on that other piece of plastic. So anything I do on this top layer is not going to affect the layer below it. So I can use my eraser, which again, I'm tapping up here to choose eraser, and erase this line. But I can't erase anything on the love because it's on a separate layer. Okay, so now let's talk about moving layers. So because these two words are on different layers, I can move them separately. So this top layer, I can hold on the word layer and I can move it around. I can also grab this layer down here and move it. I can move it up and down wherever I want, or I can just move it back to where it was. Okay, so there's two ways of doing this on layers. You can click the arrow at the top, and then I can do this with my pencil, move it around, or with my finger and move it around, and I'm selecting everything on this layer. You could also use this selection tool, which is the S next to the arrow, and draw around it, and then click the arrow, and it gives you the same result. And then to get out of this selection, you just tap the arrow again. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense so far. Right now we just have our background color, which is just the piece of paper in the back that's not really doing anything with the layers, and then we have two layers. We have the first one, which just says love on it, and the second one, which says layer, and we can see that here as well. We have our background color, and then love and layers. Okay, now we want to add another layer, and this one is going to have a heart on it. So I'm grabbing another layer, putting it on top, and then I'm going to draw a heart. Okay, so I'm also going to add another layer with the plus button, and then I will also add a heart. Okay, so what just happened? My eraser was selected, so nothing's happening. So I'm going to go back, make sure I'm on my brush, and then draw a heart. Okay, if for some reason I wanted to just work on this heart without being able to see the text, like if these letters are distracting me, then I could take away those layers right now and just work on this heart layer. So this is called hiding layers. So to hide a layer in Procreate, you open the layers panel, and then the checkbox that's all the way on the right, if you click on the checkbox, then it hides that layer. So I'm just going to hide both of those layers. So the layers still exist. They still exist somewhere. We just can't see them when they're hidden. Okay, so to bring them back, we are going to check those checkboxes to bring back our bottom layer and then our next layer, and now everything is back. Okay, is this making sense so far? Let us know if you have any questions. All right, so now I want to create another heart. So I'm going to add another layer on top of this, and well, let's see here. If I wanted this heart to be exactly the same as this other one, I would just try my very best to make them match up like this. So now I have two hearts next to each other, and they're not exactly the same, but they're pretty close.
So if I want to have two hearts that are exactly the same, then you can do what's called duplicating layers. So to know which layer you're actually on, I know it can be kind of confusing. If you tap on different layers, it'll change to the blue color, and that's what layer you're on. So you can see a preview. You can also rename these layers so you know which one. So you could rename this one and call it heart, or you can just see in the little preview. You probably can't see it on the screen right now, but you can see right here, it looks like a heart. Now to duplicate it, I'm gonna slide the layer to the left. So all I did was slide it to the left, and then duplicate comes up. So I'm gonna duplicate it. But right now we can't see them both because they're on top of each other. So that would be if both of the layers were on top of each other. So in order to be able to see both of them, you would need to take the top layer and move it over to the right. So, okay, so I'm going to have my top layer selected, click on the arrow, and then move it over to the right. And you can actually see when I'm moving this that a blue line is appearing across. That's called magnetic, and that will allow me to move it exactly in line if magnetics is on. So down here in the bottom left, when you're on the arrow, there's a magnet, and that causes the magnetics to turn on.
So again, right now we have these on two separate layers right here, two separate pieces of plastic. But if I wanted these hearts to be on the same layer as each other, then what I could do is I could take this top layer and trace this one right here that was underneath it, and then get rid of this one. And now these two hearts are on the same layer right here.
So to do that in Procreate, that's called merging layers, and there's two ways to merge. Either you can pinch the two layers together with your fingers like that. That can sometimes be hard to do, so I'm just going to undo that. Or you can merge by tapping on the layer. This menu will pop up, and then you can click merge down, which is the second last option. So if I do merge down, it's just going to merge it with the layer directly below it. And now I'll unhide and show this layer again. You can see that both hearts are on the same layer because we merged them together.
Okay. So let's say that I actually wanted the word love right here in the back to be bigger. So I just want to go back to that word love. So I'm going to hide my other layers. So Jordan's going to open up the layers menu and hide those layers so she just has love selected. Now I want the word love to be bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase it, and then I'll have to rewrite it bigger here.
So you can probably guess that there's a shortcut to do this in Procreate. You can resize a layer. So right now I'm going to select the layer by tapping on the arrow. And when I did that, it just had this error pop up that says hidden layer. So the reason that that happened is because if I open my layers, the layer that I'm currently selected, the blue one, is actually the heart layer. So I need to go to the layer that I actually want to change. So if you ever get an error like that, just make sure that you are selecting the correct layer. Okay, then I'm going to click on the arrow, and then I can resize it two ways. You can either zoom like this kind of motion, which it looks like you're zooming in, but you're actually increasing the size of it. So if I zoom out on the full canvas, you can see zooming in on the word makes it bigger. Or you can click on these nodes on the outside and resize it that way. So if I have magnetic on, it will do it proportionally. If you don't have magnetic on, then you can change it.
Okay, so right now I want to draw on that layer that I had that said that had the hearts. So I'm gonna try to draw, but wait, I can't draw on it because I'm getting an error. I can't draw on this heart layer. So Jordan's gonna do that, and because that layer wasn't open, because you couldn't see it, it's gonna give you this error message that says hidden layers. So let's go ahead and go to the layer menu and bring back all of our layers like this. Okay, so let's say that we wanted to move our heart layer and the word layers up a little bit. So what we could do is first move the layers up and then move the hearts up, but we had to do them separately. So if we wanted to be able to move these two layers together, that's when we would group them. So grouping is kind of like putting a paper clip on these layers so that they're still separate. You can still take one of them away and work on them separately, but they move together. So now, because they're paper clipped together, they're going to move exactly with each other up or down. So
to do that in Procreate, to make a group, you can have the first layer selected, and then to select the other one you want, so I want this one below it, you slide to the right on the layer, and then now they both turn blue. So they're both selected, and then you can click group in the top right. Now they're grouped, so then if I go back and select the group, so now my blue is on the group words, and I do the arrow, now I can move them together.
All right. So I just want to move one of these hearts to the top right corner. So if I wanted to do this in real life, I would have to erase one of my hearts. Now remember, erasing anywhere else won't affect these other layers because I can't access them. This layer, I'm only on this layer. So if I wanted to move that heart to the top right, I would erase it and then move it up here to the top right.
I'm just going to go directly on my hearts layer. So now I have my hearts layer selected in blue. Then I'm going to choose this selection, which looks like an S next to the arrow. And there's different selection modes, but just for now, let's go on freehand at the bottom if it gives you that option. I'm going to draw a circle around the heart, then click the arrow, and now I'm just moving the heart.
Okay. So if we wanted the background of all of this to be a different color, we would just change out our background color. Right now it's a white piece of paper, but I want to make it pink, so I'm gonna change my background color to pink.
Now to do this in Procreate, you go back to your layers, and then the bottom one is called background color, and you just tap on it, and then you can choose whatever color you want. You can change the color.
Okay, there is a difference between that and having a layer filled with color. So let's say that I wanted to put a layer on top that is pink. It would look like this. So now I have a pink layer on top, and well, I can't see anything under it.
So to do that in Procreate, you would create a new layer by tapping on the plus sign, and then you have to have your color chosen. So I'm going to go back and choose a color. Okay, so I choose whatever color you want, tap on the layer, and then in the menu choose fill layer.
So even though we can't see all of the words and hearts that we made, they're still there. If I hide my layer, you can see that they're still there. And right now this is covering it. So just to illustrate that the order of your layers is important, if we move this pink piece of paper, this pink filled layer, directly below our group, so let's just move the group to the top. Now you can see that we're covering the word love, but you can see the layers on top of it.
So I'm going to move the filled layer by tapping and holding until it looks like it gets a little bigger, and then just dragging down, and I'll put it under the group as well, so you can see the same effect.
Okay, so filling a layer, again, it's like having a piece of paper, so it's going to be in between. So normally I don't have filled layers, so we're just gonna delete that.
So to delete a layer, you can swipe it to the left and then delete.
Okay. All right. So if we wanted all of these layers to be on the same piece of plastic here, we didn't want to have them all separate. Right now we have them in a group and a separate layer. If we wanted them all to be on one piece of plastic, in real life you would basically just have to rewrite the whole thing on one piece of plastic, and now it's all together.
So in Procreate, you can merge them all together. The shortcut is doing this type of motion where you pinch the layers together. Sometimes it takes a second, okay? And then now everything is together on one layer.
Okay.
So then if I select it, you can move everything together.
So that was our intro to layers. And normally we like to keep things on separate layers. I'm going to show you one more thing. So let's say that we did fill this layer with pink instead of making it a background layer. So I'm going to put this pink piece of paper inside here. And Jordan's going to show you what that would look like in Procreate. So filling a pink layer and then putting it below that layer and then merging them together. So now they're all on one. So we can hide the background layer for now. So let's just get rid of the background layer and hide it. So now we have everything is all together. It's all been merged. So it's all together. We have the text here, we have our fill here. So this is kind of hard to work with because we can't really change anything. Like if I tried to erase, well, this isn't going to work in real life, but she'll show you on the iPad. If you try to erase a heart, then it's just going to erase.
Let me bring my background color back up.
Yeah, sorry, she'll bring her background color back up. If you try to erase something, then it's going to erase everything. Or same thing, like if we wanted to move, let's just say we wanted to move this heart, because they're all on the same layer, we basically would have to cut them like this, and then, oops, and then if we move it, you can see that there's going to be like a chunk missing out of it, like that. So that's not ideal. So this kind of shows you the importance of layers. So some of the benefits of using layers are that, as we showed you in this project, you can quickly duplicate things to get an exact copy like we did with the hearts. You can change around your text and reorder things, resize them, add things below layers afterwards, and hopefully this kind of showed you the benefits of having everything separate and being able to move things separately rather than just doing it all on one piece of paper. Okay? All right, I saw lots of questions come in. I think we're going to save some of those to the end just because we have to actually get to the lettering project now. So, also just a reminder that you can rewatch this workshop. But let's go ahead and start on that project. So okay, to answer some of these questions. So merge down and combine down. The difference is combining is when your layers are still separate from each other. So like in here, we combined these layers. So combine is the same thing as group. So these are grouped together, but they're still separate layers. So you can still edit them separately. You can hide one of them. Merging them would make them like on one piece of plastic. So you wouldn't be able to edit them separately. Okay. All right. Do you want to reply to some of the questions maybe while we start the project? Okay. So we're going to start the project now because it's getting kind of late. So go to your gallery and we're going to insert a new or create a new project. So go tap your plus icon in the top right corner and choose square for this. And I'm going to rotate my screen here so you can have Procreate in both orientations. Okay, so everyone go ahead, and if you are following along with this, choose your square canvas, and I can make this a little bit closer to the screen here. So you can't undo a merge down unless you do it immediately. That's the only way, is by hitting undo. That's another thing about grouping, is that if you group something, then you can ungroup them, but you can't really unmerge something. Okay. Everyone got their canvas set up? Because we're going to start with the project now. So the first step that we're going to do is actually customizing the brush. So if you go, oh, and I saw someone ask about this. This finger right here is called smudging. Just like the quick overview is painting with a brush is adding pixels to your canvas. Smudging with a brush is moving the pixels like this. So it's you can kind of think of it like you have wet paint that you're smudging around, and you have the same options for brushes here. So we're not going to use that in the project. I'm just going to clear all of this. Okay, so step one of the project is customizing our brush. So open your brush library, go to the calligraphy section, and find the one called brush pen. It's the same one that we were using before. And we're going to customize it. So I like to duplicate my brushes if I'm changing them, just so that I have a backup copy. So to duplicate a brush, you're going to slide this to the left and choose duplicate. Okay. All right, so now we're going to make some changes to this brush. So in order to make changes, tap on where right now it should say brush pen. It might say brush pen 1 for you. Tap on that. And did you know that in this little preview menu right here, you can make some strokes? So you can play around to see what the default looked like. And I don't really want this opacity here. So some people were saying that their upstrokes looked lighter in color. They're a little bit transparent here. So we're going to change that. So to customize this brush, in the bottom menus here, you'll find the one that's called pencil. Okay, and then under Apple Pencil pressure, the second one right here, opacity, we're going to drag that to 0. So
So just so that you can see what's happening, as I draw these strokes up here, some of them are lighter and darker. When I bring opacity to 0, it's going to make them all black. Okay? Okay, so that is what we're going to do to customize this brush. Now we are going to import that photo we emailed you. So if you guys saved that photo from the email, you're going to need it now. And so so hopefully you have it saved to your camera roll. If not, maybe go ahead and grab that really quick. But in order to insert a photo, we're going to go to the wrench icon up here and choose add, and then insert a photo. And then just find the photo from your camera roll and insert it right here, and it's going to be smaller than the size of the canvas. So we will want to increase this size by taking, whoops, I just accidentally undid a bunch of stuff, sorry. That's the shortcut I showed you before of holding down and then it does undo. Okay, so when you have this photo inserted, we're going to increase the size of it, and don't make it the full size of the canvas, make it around like 200%. I don't know why does it keep doing that? I think I'm holding down too long because I'm explaining it too slowly. Okay, guys, I need to go faster. Okay, so make your size about this big on the canvas. All right. Okay. So now, don't do this, but if you were to draw directly on the photo that you added and then you tried to erase some of it, you would also be erasing some of the photo that you just imported because they're all on one layer. So if you learned anything from our layers demonstration from before, we're going to add a new layer to do our lettering on. So go to your layers menu and tap the plus sign in the top right corner to add a new layer. Now just to make sure that we don't write on this photo back here, we're going to lock this layer. So to lock the layer, choose the photo. You should be able to see a preview of it right here. Slide it to the left and choose lock. So now we can't write on it even if we tried. If we did try, it would tell us that it was locked, okay? So let's go back to our layer on top. And now we're going to start doing some lettering. So with that brush that we just customized, selected, or you can just use the default brush pen in Procreate. But if you did have time to customize it with me, then choose that brush, and then we're going to zoom in here by pinching and zooming. And then you can change the size of your brush on the left here. So by sliding this up and down, you'll change your brush size. I think around 10 to 20% is good for this project, so I'll go at about 13. The way you can test it is drawing a line on top of this L and pressing down hard, and if it's the same thickness as your L, then it's the right size. If it's too small, you can increase the size, and the opposite. Okay? So the way that this template is set up, we have, in this order is the order of the strokes. So the pink, purple, blue, light blue is every time that we're going to lift our pen. Okay? So we're just going to go ahead and get started with the letter L. So every time we have a dot or a change in color, we lift our pen. So press down harder on the down strokes to do the stem of the L, and we'll go quicker as we keep going, but then on the bottom we're just going to do a horizontal line, and if you don't want to trace it exactly how we have it, you can make modifications. For the O, we're going to do it all in one stroke, down and back up. So as you're coming back up, you should be releasing the pressure on your pencil, or don't press as hard so you get a thin line. For the V, let's do downstroke, then the upstroke will be thin, and then you can make these horizontal lines separately like this. If you make a mistake, and you can tap with 2 fingers to undo it. All right? All right, so for the rest of this quote, you can just follow along with me. I'm gonna go a little bit quicker just because the concepts that we'll learn after this, it's fine if the quote isn't completely done. Like if all you have is the word love, you'll still learn something in the next step. So I'm gonna go just a little bit quicker. So we're just going to trace this. Every time we have a downstroke, make it thicker, and an upstroke is thinner. And then you can start your pen wherever that dot is. Okay, for this A, first we'll make this oval shape, then we'll make this shape.
Color does not matter. You can be using any color for this. That's a really good question. We're actually going to show you how you can change the color after we finish writing the quote. Okay, so if you chose a color that you don't like, don't worry, we'll show you how to change it. So just have fun with this, but try to, if you're going slowly, you can always come back and rewatch this or redo the lettering more perfectly, but just to make sure we get through everything, since it's almost been an hour already and we still have a lot to cover, I'm going to go a little quicker. All right, so I'm about done with this quote. If you're not done, just for now, just don't worry about it. Just we'll continue going with what you have, okay? Okay, so now the next step we're going to do is changing the color of our letters. So everyone go up to your color wheel and choose a new color. I'm just going to choose blue here. So if you have black selected, remember you have to drag it up in the top right corner to one of these colors and choose blue. So I'm going to choose blue. So if I wanted all of my, also one other thing we can do right now is hide that template layer so that we don't have that sketch in the background. So open up your layers menu and check the box next to the locked layer, and then it will go away temporarily, okay? Okay, so now go back to your layer that has the lettering on it. And with your new color selected, so the hard way or the long way of making your letters a different color would be changing your color and then going back over all of it. But there's obviously an easier way because this is Procreate, so that way is using Alpha Lock. So open your layer menu and we're going to turn on Alpha Lock. So tap your layer and select Alpha Lock, or if you want a shortcut, you can take 2 fingers and swipe them to, wrong way, swipe them to the right. Like this, and that turns on Alpha Lock. So you can kind of tell there's like a checkered background in that layer preview. So now when I draw on this layer, Alpha Lock locks the pixels where they are, so I can only draw wherever my letters are, wherever the pixels currently were, okay? So even if I try to draw over here, it won't work. So you can draw over this, but the quickest way to fill all of these letters with blue would be to, once your layer is Alpha Locked, tap it and do fill layer, and now they're all blue. Another thing that you could do if you wanted to change your letter colors individually is, let's say I want to make the L pink, I can go back to my pink and then collapse that menu. Now in the top right corner where that pink circle is, I want you to take it and drag it into your L, and then that will change the color. So if you wanted to, you could change each of these letter colors individually like this. I'm going to tap twice to undo that. Okay. So now we're going to create some ombre letters or some gradient letters. So the first step is creating a color palette. I'm going to show you a cool trick. So again, if you hadn't finished your lettering yet, then maybe pause because we're going to show you some cool stuff now that you won't want to miss. So first, I'm going to bring back that guide that we had in here. So open my layers menu and tap that layer 1 here, so that we have this come up. Now I'm going to zoom in on these colors. So I want to be able to use these colors. So here's a fun trick. If you take your finger and tap and hold it on a color on the canvas, you can see it brings up like a little eyedropper thing. And so let's go to the pink here. Now it's gonna load that color into my colors so I could draw with that color. So let's create a color palette based on these 4 colors. So if you open your color menu and go to the palettes section right here, I have a lot of palettes. You probably won't have as many as I do. So again, this is color menu, and then we have disc class. It's the last one over here is palettes. Create a new one by tapping that plus in the top right corner, and it will add it. Okay, so you should see where it added yours. I have a lot, so anyway. So on your new palette, we're going to add 4 colors. So first, take your finger, hold it on the pink, then open up your palette and tap in the top left corner to add it to your palette. Then do the same thing for purple. So tap and hold on the purple, go to your palette, add to your palette. Another way you can do this is tap this square right here. If you tap that square and use your pencil, you can pick the color the same way. Add that one, and then add your 4th color here. Okay. So the color squares should appear if you show that
that photo we sent you. You can also just choose 4 colors. Oh, that's a good question. So if you accidentally add a color...
Oh, wait, but I think she's saying that she's not getting these 4 colors, like the hidden layer. Is the layer still hidden?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll have to unhide the layer.
Oh.
Okay, so if you add a color that you didn't want, and I'll show you in this top palette up here, just tap and hold on it, and then it will show delete or set, so just choose delete. One more color that we want to add to our palette is white, so for this you can tap and hold on this canvas here, and then add it to your color palette. So right now you should have 5 colors. You can pick your own colors if you don't want to use these 4. Okay, so now that our color palette is created, I'm going to hide this layer again, the one that has those 4 colors on it. So I'm just going to uncheck that box and it'll go away. So this layer that we're on here, the one that has our letters on it, is alpha locked still. So you should have a checkered marks in the background. So to create this ombre effect, open up your color palette and choose the first color. So in this case, it was pink. And then we're going to use the same brush that we were using before, but we're going to increase the size of it. So if you didn't get the color palette to work, you can just choose any color you'd like on the disc right here. And then try later. Okay, just because we have a lot to get through. Okay, so we're going to increase the size of the brush so it's really big. So take the slider and go all the way to the top. And then with pink selected, I'm just going to draw some stripes down my letters just on the left right here. Then we'll do the same thing for the next few colors. So I'm going to go to my palette, change it to purple, or change it in this disc, draw another stripe, then go to the next color, which is bluish, draw another stripe, and then do my last one and draw a stripe down. You don't have to do 4. If you want to just do 2, that's fine as well. It will still work. So right now we want to blur these together so that we don't have these stark edges here. So in order to do a blur, while you have this layer selected, in the top left corner right here, there's this little magic wand. You want to click that and it's adjustments. And then choose the second one down here. It's Gaussian blur or Gaussian blur. So tap that and then use your Apple Pencil to slide on the screen to the right and you'll see it start to blur. So if you go all the way blurred versus a little bit, then it's going to change the amount of blur here. So you can choose whatever you'd like. If you blur it too much, then it just makes all the colors muddy together. So mine's around 20%. Okay, so zooming out, now you can see that we have some nice gradient letters here. Okay, so is that everyone caught up? I'm gonna assume everyone is because I don't see a lot of comments, so that means you're working hard, which is great. Okay, now we're gonna add some stars to this. So let's go to our color palette and choose white, or a shortcut would be anywhere on the canvas, tap and hold your finger and it will turn white. Then we're going to change our brush to a star brush. So go to your brush menu. Yeah, so sorry, some people are saying they're lost or they are not caught up. Remember, you can always rewatch this video. All we've done up until now is on our layer that has the lettering, it is alpha locked, which means it has the checkered background, so you can only draw on that layer. We added colors on it and then we blurred it together. And there are other ways of doing this. We're just showing you this is a pretty easy way to make your letters look colorful. So now on the same exact layer that we're on, we're going to do the next step just to make it quick. Yep. So we're gonna add some stars. Oh good, I'm so glad this is helping. Yeah, hopefully this was an easy way to do it. So, okay, so we're gonna change our brush. So if you tap your brush library right here, and again, brush is just another word for tool. Okay, I'm gonna type out a recap of the ombre effect, just if anyone's lost, I'll type it out for you guys in the caption, and Jillian's gonna keep going. The basic steps where you draw with different colors down the letters, and then you go to this menu to blur them together. So, okay, so if you go to your brush menu and then it shows that it just says your brush pen that we were customizing before, tap this arrow right here to go back to your brush library, and then scroll down until you find luminance, and then you'll have glimmer right here. Okay. So then once you have the star brush selected, you can go over this and you can see that these stars are appearing. So if you want your stars to be really bright, then you can press harder. Or if you want them not to be as bright, then if you press a little bit lighter, then they'll show up like this. So I like to do some that are not too bright and then maybe a couple that are really bright just by pressing harder.
Remember, you can always undo by tapping 2 fingers. Okay, so that is our fun quote. We still have a couple of things to show you, so stick with us. I want to show you a cool trick. So right now we have our layer done. So if all you have is just the lettering, if you don't have the ombre effect or the glitter or anything, don't worry about it. The next couple of things I'm going to show you will still work. So tap on this layer to select it. And now we're going to do...
Oh, everyone's so excited.
Oh, yay! I'm so glad that this is helping. Yay, this is so exciting. Okay. Okay. I feel like this camera could be... Okay, so now we're going to duplicate this layer so I can show you something. Actually, first, let's go ahead and export this. So once you've created something in Procreate, and say you want to share it on Instagram, you're going to need to have a photo or an image file of your work to export. So we're going to hit the wrench icon up here, then go to share, and then under share image there's different file types. I usually use PNG. Okay, so that's going to export it as an image, and then you can just do save image and it will save it to your camera roll. So it's saving whatever is on the screen right now. Oh, you guys, you're so welcome. So now we're going to do another fun little trick. So wherever you're at right now, open your layers menu, and we're going to duplicate the layer that has your letters on it. So to duplicate the layer, take the layer and swipe it to the left and then choose duplicate. So basically what we've done is now we have 2 copies of this layer. So if I hide the one on top, we still have one underneath. We just have 2 copies of this, okay? We're going to hide one of the layers. So you have 2 of these here, choose one of them and tap the checkbox and it will hide it. And then on the one you didn't hide, go select it. Okay, and you want to make sure for this part that you're, I'll talk about PNGs and JPEGs at the end, or like after we do this next part, because that's a really good question. So for this next part, make sure that you have some margin around your canvas, because we're going to be doing some moving here. So go to your selection, which is this little circle that looks like an S, tap that, and then make sure that you have the word freehand selected at the bottom. Now I'm going to draw I can zoom in here. I'm going to outline around my word love. So you might have to select that again if you zoomed in. So with that selected, I'm going to draw an outline around the word love, just like this. Okay, and you don't have to connect that all the way at the end. You can just leave it like this. And then what we're going to do is select that and move it. Actually, sorry, let me back up a second. I want to be able to see my entire canvas for this. So I'm going to do that again. Being able to see my entire canvas, I'm going to select my word love by drawing this outline around it. And then I'm going to tap that arrow to select this whole selection here and drag it all the way down to the bottom underneath my quote. Now make sure it's not falling off the canvas or covering your other letters, because then you'll lose it. So just bring it down to the bottom of the canvas. Then we're going to do something similar. So I'm going to tap that again, make sure I have freeform on, and outline it like the word do. Tap my arrow and move this to the top left right here. And then what I can do is move my word love up a little bit. So what now we have is another quote. Do what you love. Okay? So what we had before was love what you do, and now just by moving those around you have a whole new quote that's still really pretty, and it says do what you love. Okay, so hopefully that was...
I probably would have put love like a little more.
Oh yeah, you can reposition this, so that's the cool part about it. So if you want to select a word, just draw around it, tap your arrow, and move it to wherever you want. Okay? I do want to caution you, don't do this, but you can watch. If you do select something and then move it, and you move it so it's partially off the canvas like this, and then you deselect it and then you try to move it later, you've lost it. So I lost the rest of my word love because it fell off the canvas. So I'm going to undo it and bring it back. Okay, so make sure it doesn't fall off the canvas. Okay? All right. Okay, what else are we going to do? Okay, so now we're going to export this image as well, just so that you have a copy of it. So if you go to share and then PNG, then you can save the image. Now, some of you might want to have an image that has a transparent background. So that means that if you were, right now, if you were to open this in a different program, then it would be a white square around the edge. If you wanted it to have a transparent background, then you would open up your layers, and where it says background color right now, which is white, uncheck that, and now it's going to have sort of this gray background that's the same as just the area around your canvas. So in order to get this exported correctly to keep the background transparent, you would export it as a PNG. So I've exported that as a PNG without a background. I just want to show you what that looks like in my camera roll, just so you can see. So the first one that we exported had the white background on it already, or still, and then the second one we took off that white background. So anywhere you place this image, the background color will just be whatever you put it on top of, okay? And one other cool trick, let me turn the background color on, is if you want to watch a video of your entire process of what we just went through, tap this wrench icon up here, and then under video, you can tap time-lapse replay, and it shows you exactly what we just made. You can export that video as well if you want to share it. So you just go to video and then export time-lapse video. I also wanted to let you know that if you go out of your canvas, so if I go back to my gallery and then I come back into the project, you can't undo. So anything now that I have here, I can no longer press the undo button because I exited the file and came back. So don't exit the file if you still feel like you have to do undo, okay? Yeah, the time-lapse video is really fun. Okay, guys, how many of you have learned something so far? We still have a couple things to show you, but it sounds like you guys are learning lots, and again, you can rewatch this. So, yeah, just let us know like how you're feeling. I know it's a little bit overwhelming to learn all of this.
We are going to show you how to create a GIF.
Oh, yeah.
Our GIF.
So we
debate.
will, next we're going to show you how to create, at the end we're going to show you how to create this.
Yeah, so before we get there, we do have a few things that we want to talk about. So I'm so glad that you guys are all so excited about everything you've learned. Hopefully you're able to apply it to other lettering projects that you want to create, not just this specific one, but you can try out so many different things, different colors, different techniques, and we could honestly talk for hours about the Procreate app. We've been using it for about 2 years now, and we just love it so much. We've learned so much about it, all these tips and tricks, and we've just loved using it. So we want to show you a few pictures.
Yeah, so this is something that I created, I think, last summer in Procreate, and I was really proud of it. But since then, like I was kind of saying at the beginning, there's so many possibilities with Procreate. So I actually recreated this piece based on the same text recently and made it look like this in Procreate. Isn't that cool how you can make... I made this digitally, but you can make it look like watercolor and just like amazing, amazing things that you can do in Procreate. So I want to show you a couple of other...
Oh, Lucy said I can't tell you how much I've learned.
Oh, you guys, I'm so glad. Yeah, you can rewatch this as many times as you'd like, and I'm sure each time you watch it, you'll pick up a new tip. But yeah, so if you thought you learned a lot in that project, there's like so many more things Procreate can do. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of things that I've made just to show you. I made this really cool neon sign effect in Procreate, and then you can also do chalk lettering, which is amazing. Like you can get some really neat effects with that smudging brush that we kind of mentioned before, and just making it look like chalk. I love this. Yeah, this is such a fun thing to do, where you can make these make it look like you're bringing a photo to life. So
yeah, so there's a picture of like just the hand holding the paintbrushes, and then she made all this lettering. Look, it looks like the Y is wrapping around it, and look at these paint splatters. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Look at all that shading.
Like even like this part of the text is just so much fun to create.
Yeah, so this is kind of what we learned today, like making an effect like this on these letters, but look at how much other stuff you can do, like the shading, making it look 3D.
And then this was another, actually this I made digitally, it's watercolor, and I based it on a real piece that I did. This is like actual watercolor paper, and I made it digitally, and it's just a lot of fun. So that was just like a couple of the things that I've made recently, and there's so much to learn about Procreate, and so we've actually created a brand new online course all about Procreate, and it's called Procreate Lettering Projects, and we're really excited to talk to you about it because those pictures that I was showing you of like the neon sign, all of those are projects that we teach you how to do in this course. Well, it's like 4 of them, but okay, let's talk about this because I know some of you have been waiting around a while for us to create an online course about Procreate, so let's kind of talk about it.
Yeah, so all the projects that Jillian just showed you with the glow sign and the chalk, they're kind of advanced. Today in the workshop we did learn a lot, and there's a lot of basics that you learned, but that's seriously just the tip of the iceberg with everything you can learn. And so we actually have created 16 different lettering projects. And check this out.
Okay, so this is just a highlight video of what's in the course. It's going to go kind of quick, but it's just an overview of what we teach in the course. So we do start off with the basics of some of the things that you've learned today, and then some cool tricks just showing you how to use the basic features of Procreate, how to use some really cool things. And then we get into the project section, which is just so much fun. We have 16 different projects, and we're going to show you some of them just in this video of how we created them.
Oh my gosh, everyone is so excited. Take my money.
So, I love that one, the reflection one. This one is intertwining letters, which is a blast to do.
Wait, this is so cool. It's like iPad with an iPad. But look, it's just like we're showing you about 2 seconds from a few of the videos.
And this one I created, okay, well, this video is going kind of quick. Oh, there's also a lesson at the end about cut files. I know a lot of you have used cut files with Procreate and how to create mock-ups. And so, okay, here are the projects. So there's 16 different projects. This is just going to flip through them pretty quickly, and they're in sets of 4. And okay, so those were the 4 projects. Awesome. Okay, I'm so glad you guys are so excited about this. This is great because we have been working so hard on this course. So that highlight video just gave you a quick intro to what is in the course, but I'm going to talk through the actual details. So basically what we cover is learning the basics, so all of the things about app navigation, and again, it's a lot of the stuff that we briefly covered today, but we go into a lot more detail for each of these. There's a gestures and shortcuts cheat sheet, which has like 20 different shortcuts, like we learned a couple today with undo and redo.
Where has this been my whole life?
And then we get into the more advanced things. So we talk about layers. We talk a little bit more in depth than what we did in today's demonstration, but it sounds like you guys learned a lot in that. And layer adjustments, masks, clipping masks, blend modes, selection modes. We go into more detail about brush customization and exporting. And so here's like the actual details of what's included. So it is made up of pre-recorded videos, so it's not like live videos like we're doing right now. It is pre-recorded, and there are over 7 hours of videos in this course, which you can watch at your own pace. We made 3 custom Procreate brushes that are included. There's a note-taking workbook PDF that's really helpful, shortcut cheat sheet, 16 step-by-step projects, lettering template layouts, and we also have the bonus project pack. Plus we have updates and lifetime access. So I know that we kind of quickly scrolled through these in the videos, but here's the first. So basically the projects are split into sets of 4. So the first set of projects is about you'll make these exact projects with the stunning backgrounds and fills and textures.
Dorothy just said, I learned more in the 40 minutes than I did all day at school.
Oh my gosh. Can we be your teachers instead? The second project pack is all about making things look like something else. So like a neon sign or glitter. I'm going to show you how to create your own glitter. Like you don't have to find a picture of glitter. You can customize your own glitter. 2 different chalkboard projects with completely different techniques. And then this one is about creating depth and perspective. So we'll teach you how to do cool like shadows and reflections. And this is the intertwining letter one. We'll teach you step by step how to do that. And this photo one, which we kind of showed you before. And then this last one, so we have this ribbon lettering. I know it's kind of hard to see in this picture. Ribbon lettering and this 3D lettering, the watercolor effect, and then this one as well, which is like a paper cutout effect. It's actually
thank you so much, Lauren.
based on a real life example of paper cutout, but this is completely digital created.
Yeah, when we showed my husband, he thought that Jillian just took a picture of what she made in real life, but it's actually digital. Isn't that awesome?
So again, just a couple of the things that we've included. So we do have 3 custom brushes that we created for the course. We'll talk about pricing in a second. We do have lettering templates included, so you can apply these effects to any lettering that you want, but if you did want to recreate the exact projects that we made, we do give you the templates for each project. And then there's also lettering guides for lowercase and uppercase letters that walk you step by step through how to create each letter, just in case you are brand new to lettering, and if that would help.
Yeah, the intertwining letters one is so fun to do.
There's a bonus pack. If you guys are eager to sign up, the link Jordan will put in the description right now. There's a bonus pack about creating mock-ups. So all of these things were created digitally, even though it looks like we took pictures of phone cases with decals. This was created completely digitally, and we'll show you how to do that. Plus there's a lesson on how to use Procreate in your workflow for creating vinyl decals or other paper cutouts. So if you do have a Cricut or a Silhouette machine, we're going to show you how you can use Procreate in conjunction with that to make cut files.
Jessica already signed up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so just like a quick review. So each of these project packs, if you wanted to, you could buy them separately. I'm going to talk about pricing now. So each of these project packs that we have, so the first part is about product features and navigations, and then we have those 4 project packs that teach you how to create those amazing effects, plus the bonus. You can buy all of these separately if you want. Like if you already know how to use Procreate, you can just get one of the project packs. And the total price of all of this is $262. But the main course that we have is a bundle of all of this, plus lifetime access. So if we add more project packs, you would get those too. So
yeah, so just repeat that again. So all 4 of these project packs, plus the bonuses, plus the basics, plus anything that we ever add in the future, which for project packs. So if we already have another project plan that we're going to add, so there's going to be another one in the next few months. So any project pack we add is automatically included if you get the bundle.
So the bundle is going to be a huge discount versus if you bought each of these separately. So it's going to be $197 instead of $262. But because you guys have been so awesome sticking with us throughout the workshop, we're doing a huge discount. So we're doing $50 off until May 10th. So you can get all of this for $147. And the link, Jordan posted it, but it's lovelyloops.com/procreate.
So Diane's asking about going back and rewatching. So this course, this section of the course, so again, all of this is included in the bundle, but this section of the course goes into tons of detail about all the features, and then you can rewatch the videos as many times as you want. You can actually slow them down to make them play slower, so you can pause them as you're going if you need help. And it does go very, very detailed.
Yeah.
Step by step.
We'll show you just a quick preview of what it looks like inside the course. Jordan's going to pull it up on her iPad in a minute, just so you can see what it looks like. Oh, yay, I'm so glad you guys are joining because we've spent we've just been dreaming of this for so long and have really made these projects so that they show off every feature. Okay, if you don't like charts and tables, you're not going to like this. But for those of you who are data nerds like us, this is just a comparison of each of the projects. So we have 16 different projects, not counting those bonus ones. And on the left here is all of the features that we use, so layer masks and clipping mask and all of these features. So this just shows you which project uses which. The discount is until May 10th, so you can get $50 off, which is really because the cost of everything separately would be $262. It's
$115.
It's more like $115 off. But yeah, that's through May 10th. And that coupon code is actually already applied if you go to that link. So once again, the link is...
It's pinned in the comments.
Okay, yeah. So you can click on the link in the comments, but it's lovelyloops.com/procreate. Did we mention the course is called Procreate Lettering Projects? I don't know if we mentioned that. So Jordan's going to show you inside the course right now really quick.
So if you buy the bundle, the Procreate Lettering Projects bundle, you can see that it includes all of these courses inside. And so just for example, I'm just going to go to the Procreate Features and Navigation one. So this course, this is one of the 6 courses that you get, has all of this information, all of these lessons. So it has a 18-minute video just about gestures and shortcuts.
Plus there's a cheat sheet. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. So this is just this section. If I go back and let's say we want to look at Project Pack 3, then each project pack has some welcome resources, lettering templates. So for each,
they're underneath the video.
Let's go to this one. So for example, for this video, which is you learn how to do intertwining letters, it gives you the exact lettering template that we used, or same with this one. So you get all of the lettering templates, and then each one has a step-by-step video that goes very slowly through the process, explaining each step. And it doesn't just say like what the steps are, it also explains the why behind the steps. So we're really big on like understanding the process. We don't want you to just blindly follow along. We don't want you to get confused. So we do explain multiple ways of doing the same thing and why we would do something one way versus another. So if you go to, so when you do hopefully enroll, then you will, in the course, you'll be able to see all of your included courses, and then, so all I did was click included courses, and then you can see everything that is included. We just thought it would be nice to have them split up into these packs, because if you wanted to just get one, you can do them separately, but it is such a good deal, especially right now with our discount going on, to get them all together, plus all future updates. You might as well just go for the
so Marlene just
bundle.
said, so any course created in the future will automatically be added. Exactly. So we already have a Project Pack 5 planned. Now, just a reminder that I am having a baby in 2 weeks, so the 5th Project Pack won't be added in the next couple months, but there's plenty of material for you to work through right now. But yes, so a Project Pack... yeah, let's turn this back to our faces so you guys can see us. Okay. Hi everyone, we're back. So so yes, whenever we add new project packs, you won't have to pay extra for them if you get them in the bundle. So if you want to get them separately, you can do that. And actually, if you go to that link, the lovelyloops.com/procreate, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll show you if you want to buy any of them individually. It'll give you a link to buy it individually, but it's by far the best deal to get them all together, because not only is it a huge discount, but you also get future updates.
Okay. Okay, what questions do you guys have about the course besides when can I start?
And we will show you how to create that GIF.
Oh yeah,
we haven't forgotten about the GIF. We will show you how to create that, but in case anyone has to hop off and has questions about the course, we want to make sure we get those answered. So let us know in the comments if you do have any questions.
What were you saying?
So we talked a lot about layers today in the course, or in the workshop, but in each project we focus pretty extensively on the layers as well. We actually give you like a screenshot of the original project file layer structure. It's kind of like an answer key, or like you can cross-check your work after you go through the project to see if it matches with what we've created in the actual like video that we filmed to show you how to create the project, if that makes sense. Another thing I wanted to say, so we will add any project pack that's added in the future, you will get, including if you guys have requests for like types of effects that you want to be able to create, we will create.
Yeah, most of the projects were based on, well, some of them were based on suggestions from you guys asking, can you please teach us how to do intertwining letters? I really want to learn how to do watercolor lettering.
Or like glitter lettering.
Yeah. So if you ever come across something that you just can't figure out on your own, and I know it can be hard to figure out. In fact, I was trying to create something. In fact, it was the welcome post for this Facebook group. And I wanted to make it look like the project pack that Jillian made, and I was like trying to figure it out, like, oh, surely I can do this on my own, and then I actually had to like watch the video a couple times to figure it out.
Yeah, so I wasn't listening if you just said this, but the projects we created were based on things that like we always wanted to learn and we figured out, but also we did a survey a couple weeks ago and like 1,000 people answered about what kind of effects they wanted to learn. I guess that was more than a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And also we understand what the struggles are of trying to figure it out. So yeah, there is so much information in the course. But first, so we are going to do the GIF, but can we just give Jillian a round of applause for teaching the workshop? She did such a good job showing you guys all patiently, walking through all the steps. And all of the videos in the course are like that. They're very step-by-step, showing you the why. So just a little sister shout-out. I'm so proud of Jillian. She has seriously been working like 12 hours a day nonstop for the past like 3 weeks. Working on this, making every detail perfect, and she's 38 weeks pregnant. So
I gotta get it all done before the baby's here.
Yeah, that's been our motivation. So a lot of you guys have been waiting for this course for a long time, ever since our first YouTube tutorial about iPad, which was in November 2017. You guys have been asking us to create a course, so it is here, and it is Jillian's baby.
It's my first baby. No, it's my...
It's your baby's sister.
Okay, let's make sure we're not missing any comments because I haven't really seen any questions come in, and so let's double check on the computer. Oh, whoa, we are missing
just
comments.
Missed some
okay,
comments.
Sorry. The last comment we saw was from Marlene, so that was a while ago.
Hold on a second. You are so welcome. Isn't Jillian a rock star? Yes. Yes, we are twins. We said that at the beginning, so if you are joining late, remember you can rewatch the entire video. You guys are so welcome. Oh, everyone's saying congrats, Jillian, and thank you, and a round of applause. Oh, yay! Anne said that she bought it. Yay!
Oh, we're so excited to have you guys in the course.
Yeah, so have you included the latest Procreate updates? Yes.
Yes, so there's a lesson on inserting text, and we will, actually the animated GIF is one of the newest updates, so we'll show you that here too, and a couple other things I can't remember exactly. But yes, I mean, this is probably, because we created the course, like, as the updates were coming out, it's like the most updated course about Procreate probably that there is.
It is the most up-to-date. So the Facebook group question. So in some of our courses we do have a separate private Facebook group. Some of you alumni of our other courses know that. So we are actually going to be using this group as a place to share your work. If you are taking the course, you can post your work in here, and we will be happy to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, we had a beta tester, like a student, go through the course already just to give us some feedback, and she's already created some amazing, like an amazing project based on Project 1 that looks just like the way that she's combined the different techniques that she learned in the project is so cool. So I can't wait to see like what you guys create as a result of this, because we want you to be able to recreate exactly what we show in the videos, but you can apply these techniques to any of your lettering projects. So you don't have to just write the neon glow sign one. You can apply that technique to any quote that you have, or same thing with like the watercolor one.
Okay, there are a lot of questions coming in. So someone asked if there's going to be anything about clipping masks.
Yes. If you go to that link, the project, whatever link we posted, loveleighLoops.com/procreate, at the very bottom it actually shows you like the specifics of what we learn or what we teach in the projects, and it's this chart. So there is a row for clipping masks, and a lot of the projects use it because it is like an essential in some of these projects.
Okay, Josie's asking if we're talking about composition throughout the course. So in the course, is there...
because the layouts are already pre-made, I talk a little bit about how you can create your compositions, but for the most part, it's already done for you. But we are coming out with a course that's about composition, and so...
yeah, that'll be coming out soon. Let's see... Everyone's saying good luck with the baby.
Aw, thank you guys.
So there's no like dedicated feedback or schedule that we're gonna go, like some of our other courses we have. On this day we'll give you feedback about this topic. But if you do post your work and you want feedback, or if you have a question, then this Facebook group is what we're going to be using for that. And within the lessons of the course there is a link that goes to this group. It'll make more sense when you see it. Will you do digital pointed pen? I love doing digital looking pointed pen. It is tricky to get a brush that looks like a pointed pen. I've been developing one that I'm planning on making available soon. Still need to learn. Symmetry effect is cool. Yeah,
yeah, we talk about symmetry.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways you can use symmetry. First of all, there's lots of different symmetry settings. There's reflective and rotational, and there's like 4 different types, but then also the way that you can use them in the projects is pretty neat as well. I show you a couple of tricks.
Is there a way to lock color palettes? If you accidentally add a color to a color palette, you can tap and hold on that color and then just hit delete. Clipping masks are kind of hard to explain, but watch the video, Jessica, you'll get it. What iPad do we have? We have the iPad Pro, the 2017 version. It's the 10-inch, and we're fine with that screen size. Some people prefer a larger screen size. It's really kind of up to you. Let's see, besides size, so there is a list on the Procreate website of compatible devices. Probably the best one to get would be the newest version of the iPad is a little cheaper than the iPad Pro, so if you're just using it for lettering, that one works great. And then the iPad Pencil is a must.
Yeah, the Apple Pencil. You can use other styluses on your tablets, on your iPad, but the Apple Pencil, or the Procreate app, was specifically designed to work with the Apple Pencil and the iPad. So some of the other styluses just don't have as many of the features that you can use with the Apple Pencil.
Yeah, if you already have a different stylus, you can definitely try it out. We haven't actually tried other ones, so we can't give a recommendation. But yeah, the Apple Pencil is amazing.
What other questions are there?
Let's see. I think I accidentally added colors. How to tweak Procreate brush pen. So do you want to talk about brush?
Yeah, there's a couple of spots within the course that we talk about brush customization. So we also kind of talked about it in the workshop today of how you can. I know there's so many settings, and that's the thing about Procreate is it's actually meant for digital like painting and art and drawing, and lettering kind of came out of this digital art community, and so lots of the settings, like we've kind of found which settings like what were brush customizations, but also blend modes that really work well for lettering specifically. So we've kind of gone through all of the like waded through all of the settings and found the ones that work best for lettering. So we'll talk about.
So there's seriously like a million options in Procreate of things you can do. But you really don't have to master everything. Like Jillian said, we're just going to show you the best ones for lettering and the ones that we use most often.
Yeah, like for blend modes, I don't know if anyone's played around with blend modes, but there's seriously like 20 or 25 different ones, and there's like 4 or 5 that we really use the most often. And we'll show you in the projects where it makes sense to use like multiply or color dodge or a soft light or overlay. So
also, we haven't really talked about this too much, but a lot of you guys make stickers and other things with like a silhouette or a cricket, and the course includes bonus lessons about how to do that and how to make mock-ups, and it's really cool. PNG versus JPEG. So a PNG you can export with a transparent background if you turn off the background color. Did you show that? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay, and a JPEG is not transparent in the background. Okay, should we show the GIF? Do you guys want to learn how to make an animated GIF?
Yeah, let's learn how to make a GIF. So if you were following along with the project in Procreate, then go ahead and reopen that file so I can show you. Also, if you guys have questions about the what's in the course, that link that Jordan put, the lovelyloops.com/procreate, has tons of information and details about what's included. But I want to show you how to make an animated GIF, so we're going to do that now. So you can do this with any canvas, but we're going to use the project that we were working on. So if you were following along, you should have 2 copies of this quote. You should have one that says, "Love what you do," and the other that says, "Do what you love." I want you to pick which one you like better and hide the other one. So I'm going to hide my "Do what you love" one just by checking this or unchecking that layer box. And then, and then I'm going to unhide my other one. Okay, so you want whatever quote you like better, we want to have shown. Okay, now we're going to duplicate that layer. So slide that layer to the left and choose duplicate. So now we have 2 copies of it. And on one of the copies, we want to add some stars. So just to show you right now, if I change my brush to pink and I try drawing around like stars around the words, nothing's going to happen, and that's because I still have alpha lock on. Whoops. Alpha lock on. So in order to turn alpha lock off so that we can draw anywhere on the canvas, you're going to open your layers, tap the layer, and turn off alpha lock by checking that alpha lock section. So that sounded like a lot, but really all we did was duplicate this layer of the quote so we have 2 copies of it, and then turn off alpha lock. Okay, so now we're going to add some stars around the edge. So I'm just going to do them in pink, and I'm going to have my brush be on the glimmer brush, which is what we were using before. You can use, you can draw lines or stars, whatever you want here. And now I'm just going to draw some, actually let's draw like a big circle around this in pink. Okay. So what we have now is a copy of the quote that has stars around it, and then a copy of it that doesn't. Okay, and those are the only 2 layers that we should have showing. So in order to create the GIF of this, it's basically going to create like a slideshow sort of going back and forth between these images. So in order to create this, we're going to go to the wrench icon at the top and then choose share, and then at the very bottom, so this is a recent update, so if you don't have these settings yet, you might need to update your app. Sorry, we should have mentioned that at the beginning, but you can do this after the workshop ends. So at the very bottom it says animated GIF, and now you can see a preview of it. So it's going back and forth between having between those 2 layers that we had. So whatever layers you have selected to show, that's the layers that are going to be included in your GIF. So you can change the settings on how fast you want this to flash back and forth by moving this slider of frames per second. Now, right now, if you chose transparent background, it would make it so that anything white would be transparent, but I'm just going to keep it white. So once you're happy with the speed of this, you can make it go really fast or not. You would just choose one of these. I'm just going to choose full resolution, and it will save the image. And then if I go to my camera roll, you can see now we have a GIF saved. So that was a pretty basic one. It's just going back and forth between 2 different pictures. Just to show you a more advanced one that I created once, here it is. So now it's going back and forth. This is one of the projects that is in the course, by the way. It goes back and forth, or it goes through a series of multiple layers to sort of show you how this project was built. And so you can definitely make more advanced GIFs by adding more and more layers, and the GIF is just going to be sort of like a video going through whatever GIFs you have selected, or whichever layers you have selected. Does that make sense? I know that was kind of quick. I can, let me just see if there's any comments.
Well, someone was asking about a dark background, and I thought that, who was it, Natalia, was asking about the background color, but then someone else brought up the point that you can change the interface to make it look lighter by just going to the wrench icon, preferences, and then light interface.
Yeah, so just to show you the difference, if I go to preferences and turn off light interface, it makes everything dark. So I think someone before was saying too that the background canvas looked blacker than mine. And so if we turn off the background color, it's going to just show that black layer. So if I turn that light interface back on, it just changes it to lighter. Yours is on dark, right?
Yeah.
Jordan's is on dark, mine's on light, so it's just personal preference. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so if you wanted to add another layer on top of this in your GIF, you don't have to follow along, I'll just show you really quick. I would, or let's say I wanted the stars to go to blue, I would duplicate this layer, and then I can alpha lock this layer and choose blue. I'm just going to do this quickly so you don't have to follow along here. And then I can color the stars to change them to blue. So now if I have these 3 layers. I have the one with the blue, the one with the pink, and the one with no stars. So having all 3 of these selected, if I go back to that animated GIF, then you can see that happening here. It goes from none to pink to blue. It does take a little bit of planning to get it to look how you would want, and that was a pretty basic overview, but now you have a GIF.
Someone was asking if you can add it to Instagram as a sticker. So you cannot post a GIF like on your feed, but you can add it to your story. If you have an iPhone, there's a way of doing it. It's kind of confusing. Maybe we could just do a screen record video, but basically you have to copy the picture from your camera roll and then paste it in your Instagram story. So if anyone's interested in that, we can show you how to do it later.
We can record a video later and then post it in the group. Do you guys have any other questions about like Procreate right now that I could cover quickly? Otherwise, or any questions about the course? Maybe let's go back to our faces. So just a reminder, the Procreate Lettering Project's online course is our newest online course. It's all about how to use the amazing features of Procreate to create some really impressive digital artwork with your lettering. And the first part goes over all of the features, kind of similar to the beginning part of this workshop. And then the majority of the course is the projects. So the 16 different projects that show you in context, because it's a lot easier to talk about like clipping masks in the context of adding shading to your letters versus just talking about it without any context. So that's why it's project based. And we do have a huge discount going on right now. So if you were to buy everything in the course separately, it would be $262. And you can purchase separate courses. Like if you only want one of the project packs, you can buy one of those separately and that's totally fine. But everything together is $197. And for the first, I guess it's a little more than a week, until May 10th, you can get $50 off. Just go to lovelyloops.com/procreate and the coupon code is already applied. There is a monthly payment plan that does not have the discount on it, just the full payment option. But yeah, you can get $50 off between now and May 10th. And once you enroll, you have instant access. Yay! Once you enroll, you'll have instant access to all of the course materials and projects, everything that we mentioned. Like, there's so much I can't even remember.
I know.
Like the custom brushes, you'll get the lettering guides, the lettering templates. So if you are newish to lettering, then there are some resources to help you out.
Yeah, so there's a traceable alphabet that shows you with arrows, like here's how to make all the letters, just because we wanted to make sure that no one was stuck on the lettering part. The cool effects take some time to learn, but if you do have lettering experience, then you'll just be able to use whatever lettering style you have. So your projects don't have to end up looking exactly like how they do in, like, your lettering doesn't have to look the same, but the effects are just so cool.
Oh, thank you so much, Lucy. Yeah, the student that we had go through the course, she's someone who has been using Procreate for a while, and she said that she's watched so many tutorials on how to use layers, and she finally understood it after we explained it in the course. And we talk about some more stuff than we did in the workshop here, but anyway, layers is just one component, and we try to break things down in a way that makes it easy to understand. Even for some of the projects, we use like real life examples to study so that you can see why we're doing the things that we're doing. For some of the projects we show, like, there are multiple ways that you can achieve different effects. Actually, the way that we created the project today is not how I would actually create it. I would create it in a more complicated way that makes it more editable, using clipping masks, actually. But though, I mean, so there are multiple ways that you can do things, and we talk about why we choose the way that to do things the way that we do, and show you some multiple ways to achieve certain effects.
So what questions do you guys have? What is holding you back from joining in on the course? Anything that we can answer right now about the course or just about Procreate. We'll stay around for a couple more minutes. I know we've been on here for kind of a while. It's been
oh my gosh,
close to 2 hours already. Oh my gosh.
Thank you all for staying with us. This has been so much fun, and I'm so happy that you guys have been learning a lot, and hopefully you created a really awesome project in Procreate too, and a GIF, and you can always rewatch this video if you'd like.
Yeah, and if you do have an Instagram account for lettering, and if you want to share your work directly from what you made today, feel free to do that. Feel free to tag us so we can see it and comment on it and tell you how awesome you are.
Yay, Sue is in the course. Awesome. Yay. So excited to watch you learn everything about
Tracy's
Procreate. You guys are making me so happy.
We seriously can't wait to see what you guys do with it. oh, the expense of an iPad. Yeah, so if you don't have an iPad, then hopefully we convinced you that you need one. But yeah, it is a big expense, and it is. But there are lots of benefits to using an iPad, like portability, like if you travel a lot, or if you are taking your kids to basketball games and football games and you want something to do to keep yourself entertained, but you don't want to bring all your lettering supplies. There are so many.
Yeah, I mean, I can even see with the baby coming, like, I'm not going to be able to sit out with all my watercolors and do watercolors, but I can do it on my iPad and create just as realistic looks digitally. Someone said something about the Apple Pencil. Lots of the effects are actually transferable if you are using a different stylus. So the benefit of using the Apple Pencil is like pressure sensitivity. So when we were talking about the lettering before, as you press harder on the pen and the stroke gets thicker versus thinner, that's like a feature of the Apple Pencil. But the other styluses can still do a lot of the effects that we teach in the course. So just a heads up on that. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're planning on getting an Apple Pencil anytime in the next year, just remember that you do have lifetime access to this course and all updates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so if you sign up for the bundle, when you log in, you should be able to see the bundle. You'll see the bundle under your courses, and then when you click on that, it will show you all the courses that are included. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull that up so that I can show you. It's a little, so basically...
If you've taken one of our courses before, then when you enter the course, you automatically see all the lessons. This one's a little bit different. Instead of seeing all the lessons right away, you see all of the project packs, and then you can go into each project pack, and then you'll see the lessons for that pack.
Do you already have it pulled up on yours?
Let me see if I can show you. What other questions do you have while we're getting ready to show you this?
Yeah, included courses.
Yeah. So when you enter the course, it'll say included courses, and then you'll see all of the thumbnails for the different packs. So then if you just tap on the one you want to look at, then it'll pull up the lessons for that pack. I hope that helps. If you're having a problem, or if it's not showing up for you, you can always send us an email.
Yes, that's a great question. Laurel was asking if you can... Will I be able to control the DPI so I can sell my art as instant downloads? Yes, so you can create art, lettering art in Procreate and sell it as digital downloads. We've done that. When you create a canvas, you can set, I think it's PPI?
DPI.
Yeah, when you make it, change it. So when you go into your gallery and choose in the top right corner, create new canvas, then here you can create a custom size.
At the very bottom it says create custom.
Yeah, so you can choose like the width and height in pixels and the DPI, and you can even change it, change the color mode. So
if you do make it like a really high DPI and really large, then there is a limit to the number of layers you can do. So the larger your file size, unfortunately, you cannot have infinite layers. It might cut you off at like 128.
Yeah, I actually reached the layer limit a couple times.
I know, me too, which is crazy. 128 layers. Is there an order? So we recommend, if you get the bundle, to start with the module called, what is it called? Procreate Navigation and Features, which just goes over the features, and then just do the project packs. And they are in order of complexity. So the first project pack is a little bit more basic than the last one, so they do go in order and kind of build up your skills. So I wouldn't recommend starting with the last one, especially if you're newer, because you might be a little overwhelmed at first. Just go through them in the order that they are.
But if you are already like a master Procreate user and you didn't learn anything new in this workshop and all you want to do is learn how to create cool effects, you can buy the project packs individually. Like, you can buy project pack number 4 by itself and just go through that, because you probably don't need to learn about clipping masks and blend modes, like if you already know about them. So that's why we made that available, because we know we have some advanced users in here.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, the text feature. Yeah, that's a great feature. We actually just added a video on that feature today, because it's a relatively new feature. So yeah, that is in the course.
Yep.
And there's so much to talk about for every single feature. And we try, like, a lot of the videos are pretty in-depth. I mean, they're all in-depth and they give you exactly what you need to know. But like I was saying before, there's so many possibilities in Procreate for just art in general. So we try to limit it to just what you'll specifically need to know for lettering and creating these lettering projects. Plus we throw in some things that are extra.
Yeah, so if you have never taken one of our Lovely Loops courses before, we use Teachable, and so you'll create a login for your account when you sign up, and then you'll go to that website to log in and see your courses. So you'll get an email with the information, but it's lovelyloops.teachable.com. You log into your account, and then you'll be able to see everything. You can watch it on your computer. There also is an app that you can download on your phone or on your iPad and see it on the app. I think on the app.
So on the app, this is what the app looks like on my iPad. I'm just in one of the courses. There is a way to make it available offline, I believe, if you just download it. So if you know that you're going to be traveling or something and you want to be able to watch the lessons, then you can. We'll confirm that, but I'm like 99% positive that you can make it available offline.
Yes. If anyone needs to head out, feel free. Thank you again so much for joining us. We're just going to hang around a little bit for the people that are asking questions. But thank you again so much for joining and so much for watching. We really hope you learned something new or dozens of new things during the workshop. We will post this video. I've said that a few times, but you can rewatch it, and then we really hope to see you in the course if it's something that you are interested in.
Yeah, again, the link is lovelyloops.com/procreate, and the discount goes until May 10th. You can get $50 off on top of the already discount for it being bundled. Someone just asked about exporting in different file formats. So yeah, so you can export your work as a Procreate file, which basically means like if I'm working on something in Procreate and I want her to be able to open it with all of the layers and everything, I can export it as a Procreate file and share it with her, and she can open it on her iPad. You can export it as a Photoshop file, which is super useful. It keeps the layers, so if you do use Photoshop, you can also import Photoshop files, right?
Yeah, so that's amazing. So if anyone here uses Photoshop, we actually used to be super confused by Photoshop, and learning Procreate has helped us understand Photoshop even better, but it's cool because you can export it and it will keep the layers how they were. So you can open it in Photoshop with separate layers.
I think it even keeps opacity and everything like that too.
Yeah.
You can export as a PDF, so there's two ways. You can either, if I were to export this as a PDF, it would just export as a PDF with that image, but you can also export. One of the recent updates is being able to export each of the layers individually as a PDF, which is pretty cool. You can also export each of the layers as their own PNG file, which is pretty neat. And then there's the JPEG and PNG file types as well. If you have any other specific questions about exporting, you can also export that video hyperlapse replay. So if you want to watch the full process of everything that you did, like this is the hyperlapse or the time lapse, you can export that file as well, and it will give you then you can save that video to your camera roll, and it will be the video of the hyperlapse, which is pretty neat, because then if you what we like to do is if we create something cool, then we post the final picture of it on Instagram, but then sometimes we do a swipe so you can watch the whole entire hyperlapse video so people can watch the process.
Yeah, people love watching your process. If you are getting an error for some reason, can you let me know what the error says, or if anyone's having trouble with anything and you need help, feel free to send us an email.
Yeah, if you have trouble with the discount code or purchasing the course or anything, feel free to shoot us an email. We don't want you to miss out on the discount just because of some sort of
406 teachable.
Technical. It's teachable. Okay. So, let's see. Any other... if you already have... Okay, so if it's saying that you already have a Teachable account, you might need to reset your password. Email us, and then we can help you out after the video. Sometimes logging out of your account and then purchasing the course, but then you have to remember what password you use for your account. Okay? All right, what else do we want to talk about? What other questions do you guys have? Anything about Procreate, about us, about the course?
We crushed it.
You guys broke the internet. Too many people signing up. No, but seriously, we're so excited for those of you who are joining the course. We just know you're going to learn so much, and we can't wait to help you build your your digital toolbox. And remember, you do have lifetime access to this course and all future updates. So when we do release project pack number 5, you won't have to buy it separately for $47. It'll automatically be included in your course in the bundle. But again, if you want to buy any of them separately, you can totally do that too.
Yes.
We also have a couple of bonus lessons. Like, I've actually filmed a bonus lesson that I will be updating to the course on a different type of mock-up that looks really neat. So I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll send an email out probably tomorrow morning. If you guys have been getting our emails about this workshop, then you'll get that email as well. And unless you already signed up for the course, we probably won't send you how to sign up for it, but yeah, we can send you a link to sign up for it.
So the link that I posted, which is loveleighloofs.com/procreate, that takes you to the bundle. If you want to get the separate courses, you'll have to scroll way down on that page to see them, but the link does take you to the bundle.
So Apple Pencil Generation 1 or 2. We have Generation 1?
Yes.
So Generation 2, is that the hexagon one?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, I've never used Generation 2, but for 1, it's just the pencil is round, like a cylinder, like it's round. And I think Generation 2 is either hexagon or it just has like one side that's flat.
Maybe.
And I think it's like magnetic so it can stick to your case or something. I don't really
I think it
know.
charges differently too.
Yeah.
But either of them work. I know people who have the Generation 2 that use it for Procreate, and we have Generation 1. So whichever one you have or whichever one you want to buy works just fine.
Yes. What else?
I see a lot of people are still with us live. We have almost 60 people here. So if you're like holding on to a question or something, okay, it's flat on one side.
Okay, thanks, Lauren.
If you're holding on to a question about anything, feel free to type it in the comments now so that we can get it answered for you live. You can also always send us an email after if you do have a question that you want us to get answered for you.
Okay, Melissa says they're not compatible with every iPad. So if you ever are wondering if like something's compatible, usually it's best to just check the website. So I frequently look at the Apple website to see like if someone's asking me, I just refer them to the Apple website so that I'm giving them accurate information. Same with what iPads can use Procreate. I always just send them to the link just so that I'm not telling them something wrong if I haven't tried every iPad. So if you do have a question about your specific tools that you have, you can just look on Apple's website or Procreate.
Yeah, if you guys are just here because you want to hang out with us, that's totally fine too. We like hanging out with you. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
so
that's a great question.
So Michaela asked if the people who are still really basic, will the course still be easy to follow? Yes, so just like in this workshop, how we went through every detail step by step, I think in the course we probably go through it, I don't want to say slow because it's not like, oh, this is dragging on, it's so slow, but it's like, okay, this is the step, this is why, here's where you find it. It shows you exactly what to do. If you need to like go back 10 seconds and rewatch that part until you get it, you can rewatch it 5 times, you can slow it down, and it does go through all the concepts. We assume that you know nothing, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, we just want to make sure that we're not skipping over anything. Like some tutorials just skip over all the steps that they assume you know, and we're not going to assume that you just know how to read our minds and do everything. We'll show you exactly.
Yeah.
Lisa.
We love hanging out with you too. Okay, I'm just looking at this. So that link that Jordan posted also does have some more information. If you're like just some more details about the actual course, like what exactly is included, like how many lessons and stuff, and previews of what the projects look like.
Aw, Joanna just posted in the group and said,
Oh,
awesome job.
that looks so good. Yeah, feel free to post the work that you've created as a result of this workshop after. We'd love to see it. Oh, there's one part on that webpage that I have, I don't know if you can see it. It's a real life example of watercolor, and next to it, it's a digital, what I created digitally, and I'd be interested to see if you can tell the difference between the two.
So Anna asked about the Procreate update. Mine appears not to have updated yet. It's not showing in the App Store.
What country are you in? Because I heard that like it wasn't available in some countries yet.
Sarah enrolled.
Yay, Sarah! We're have you. Yeah, for some reason, like, it hasn't completely updated everywhere yet. I mean, if you're in the US, then I think you would have it. So I'm not exactly sure. You might need to update your iPad, or yeah, like your what's it called, operating system, maybe.
Charlene just said.
Oh, Charlene, you're the best.
Kelly said, "Will you show how to upload files to Procreate?"
Upload. Yes. Yep. There's a section.
Import.
Yeah. There's a section that's importing brushes, importing files, and photos. So we give you a Procreate file that you can, and show you how to import it so that you can use the exact same file that we use in all of the videos. And then we also show you how to import pictures and brushes.
Yes. Unfortunately, you cannot open PDFs in Procreate,
Right.
At least not yet. So yeah, if your update isn't showing up, thanks, Amanda.
Oh,
you
thanks.
might need an iOS update.
Thanks for being with us, Dee. Go to bed. It's 2 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, Dee. So yeah, if it's not showing up in your updates in the App Store, then you might need to update your iOS, which will be under like General, I think.
Yeah.
Usually my iPad just tells me when it needs to update, and I cancel it and snooze it till later.
I
know. Same with my phone. Okay. All right, everyone. What else? We're happy to just like entertain you, and we can tell jokes if you want.
Yeah.
Or
if anyone has any advice for a soon-to-be first-time mom.
or a soon-to-be first-time aunt.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not missing any email. If you guys do have a specific question, or if you're having trouble enrolling or anything, send us an email and we will make sure that everything gets squared away. Like if for some reason the coupon code didn't apply or like anything like that, just let us know and we're more than happy to help.
I just typed our email address in case you don't have it. hello@lovelyloops.com. Yeah. I can't believe that you guys have learned so much. This was so fun.
Oh, thank you, Amanda. Okay. Yes, I do have a name picked out. Can you guys keep a secret? If you can keep a secret, I'll tell you. I wasn't going to share it with everyone until the baby was here, but if you guys can keep a secret, I think some of you actually know. So we're having a girl, and her due date is May 14th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? Is it 2 weeks from tomorrow?
I cannot believe that.
2 weeks from tomorrow, which is crazy, and the reason why we wanted to launch this course now. And so her name is Caroline. Like Sweet Caroline.
Sleep now while you can.
That's good advice.
Now that we've finished creating this course, now you can sleep.
I know. Now I can sleep now that Procreate Lettering Projects is done. No, I've actually been having trouble sleeping, so. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We might need to call in some of you guys to babysit. I'm just kidding.
We can all spoil the baby.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, one of my struggles though, like to be honest, is that I don't really like writing the capital letter C in calligraphy, so I'm having a hard time writing the name Caroline like to make it look pretty. So if anyone wants to give it a shot,
Deborah signed up!
Yay, Deborah! We're so excited. Thank you guys. Aw, thank you. Yep, Caroline is her name. And
So you're also going to become, our sister-in-law is going to be having a baby around the same time, like within a few days. And so we're also going to be an aunt to a boy.
Yeah, so our brother and his wife are having a boy named Jack. Mm-hmm. And oh, well, I can't change the spelling now because I already have some I have some stuff that has her name on it. Someone made me this cute little knit cap that has it's so cute, and it says Caroline on it, and someone else sent me this really pretty Caroline like quote, and so I'm not going to change the spelling, but that's a good idea. It would be like the Kardashians. All right, Anne, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, if anyone wants to or if anyone needs to jump off, we're obviously just chatting here.
Yeah.
Feel free to stick around. We'll probably just go ahead and sign off in like a few minutes unless any major questions come in. Yes, she will have a middle name. So her middle name is Rae, R-A-E, and that is after one of our relatives. Yeah, Caroline Rae. Our little ray of sunshine. We're so excited for her to get here.
Alright guys, we are going to hang up so that Jillian can get some sleep. Thank you so much.
Thank
bye,
you.
Sarah.
Thank you,
So
Sarah.
glad
Good
that
luck
you
catching
signed
your
up.
flight. Early flights are hard. All right. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Okay, guys. Well, thank you all for joining. Thank you for sticking around with us for 2 hours. We love this. And we will keep this Facebook group open, so if you have any questions, and of course you can rewatch this video if you got stuck at any part of the project. And if you do want to take advantage of the deal, the link lovelyloops.com/procreate is where you can find the course with the discount code already applied.
Yes.
So, I will be taking lots of videos and pictures of the baby. All right, thank you,
If
everyone.
you have enough room on your phone, you have so many calligraphy videos.
I know. My phone right now, it's like calligraphy videos or pictures of my cats. So pretty soon it's going to be that plus the baby. Probably fewer.
No more cat.
Probably fewer pictures of the cats because they're cute, but.
All right, you are so welcome. Obviously, you can tell we just love teaching everything we know. Love teaching Procreate, especially to people that are loving learning it. So we hope to see you guys create some cool stuff based on what you learned today, using all the techniques we taught you, and hope to see you in the course.
All right, good night, everyone.
All right, good night, everyone,
Bye.
or good morning, wherever you are. Bye.